I was jolted awake by a sharp pain in my calf. It hit me out of nowhere, like an electric shock, forcing me to curl up and freeze in place. At 60, I've gotten used to little aches and pains here and there, but a leg cramp is something else entirely, sudden, intense, and haunting, even after it's gone. There were times it took me several minutes just to catch my breath again, sweat pouring down my face, my heart pounding like it was about to leap out of my chest. What worries me most isn't just the pain. Every time a cramp lingers, a thought flashes through my mind. Could this be a warning sign of heart problems or high blood pressure? I once watched a friend suffer sleepless nights from repeated cramps, his health slowly deteriorating. And I know I'm not alone. Many older adults have lain helpless, waiting for the pain to subside. If you've ever been jolted awake in the middle of the night by a cramp, you know exactly how frightening and powerless it feels. So, come with me as we find out why it happens, and more importantly, how to deal with it quickly when your muscles suddenly rebel. But first, give me 30 seconds to explain the root causes, because chances are no one has ever told you this clearly. After one particularly rough night, my wife sat by my side, gently rubbing my leg and scolding me, "You're not getting enough nutrients." And she was right. At this age, the body easily runs low on calcium, potassium, and magnesium, the very minerals that keep muscles from contracting abnormally. Blood circulation also slows down with age, and my habit of sitting around too much only made my legs more prone to cramping. Some nights after taking my blood pressure meds, my legs felt especially heavy. My doctor had warned me that certain medications, especially diuretics, could trigger cramps. On top of that, I rarely drank enough water. Dehydration, combined with sleeping in awkward positions, made nighttime cramps all the more likely. If you've ever been startled awake by one of these episodes, you know the helplessness. That's why I want to share what I've learned, not just to ease the fear, but to help you and your loved ones respond the right way. And now, the most important part, how to quickly relieve a leg cramp when it strikes. Trust me, just a few simple but correct steps can make the pain fade almost instantly, and might be the key to finally sleeping through the night in peace. How to quickly relieve a leg cramp when it strikes. When the cramp hit harder than usual, my calf tightened as if someone were squeezing it in a vice. My wife, long used to seeing this scene, immediately flipped on the light and pulled me up to sit. She didn't panic. On the contrary, she was calm and steady. "Relax, breathe. I'll help you stretch it out," she whispered with confidence. That's when I realized staying calm is the very first step. The more I tensed up, the tighter the muscle pulled, and the longer the pain lasted. My wife placed her hand on my shoulder, reminding me to breathe slowly, and her calmness helped me let go of my own panic. She gently pulled my foot upward, stretching it toward my knee. It seemed like such a simple move, but it was the key. My doctor had once explained, when a calf cramp strikes, pulling the foot upward stretches the muscle fibers and eases the spasm. He even cited a study in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society, showing that 70% of older adults found immediate stretching significantly reduced the duration of cramps. Sure enough, within seconds, the pain began to fade. But she didn't stop there. My wife continued massaging up and down my calf from heel to knee. Her slow, steady motions felt like gentle waves, and I could sense blood flow returning. My doctor had explained that massage improves circulation, bringing oxygen and minerals back to the cramped muscle, helping it recover. Every time she did this, I silently thanked her patient hands. On nights when the cramp refused to release, even after stretching and massage, she reached for a warm compress and placed it on my calf. The warmth spread like a gentle stream, awakening each muscle fiber. My doctor once told me heat dilates blood vessels, improves circulation, and relaxes the muscle faster. I remembered reading a report from Mayo Clinic noting that applying heat or taking a warm bath can shorten cramp pain by up to 40%. That's why my wife always kept a heating pad ready by the bed. Once the pain eased, she often urged me to stand and walk slowly around the room. At first I resisted, wanting only to lie back down. But she insisted, "If you stay still, it might cramp again. A few steps will get the blood moving." Reluctantly, I followed, and to my surprise, those slow steps made my whole body feel lighter. The next morning, I told my doctor. He nodded approvingly. "Your wife handled it perfectly. Many people panic and just lie there suffering." But a few quick steps like these can cut a cramp from minutes down to mere seconds. He even quoted another study from the National Institute on Aging. In patients who were taught proper stretching and massage techniques, recurrent cramps dropped by 45% within 3 months. What impressed me most was how my wife blended practical medical advice with her own care. She didn't just rely on experience. She carefully remembered what the doctor had told us during checkups. Thanks to that, I no longer saw cramps as a nightmare, but as a challenge I could manage. Another time, while traveling in a cold climate, I cramped badly in a hotel room. Without a heating pad, my wife suggested I soak my feet in warm water. Within minutes, the muscle loosened. My doctor later explained, warmth reduces nerve impulses that cause spasms, allowing the muscle to relax. I realized even a simple hot shower can break that painful cycle. Of course, it's not always easy. Some nights, the cramps lasted longer than I could bear. But with these steps, staying calm, stretching, massaging, applying heat, and walking, I slowly regained a sense of control. Cramps were no longer an enemy I had to endure, but an opponent I knew how to handle. But let me be clear, treating a cramp in the moment is only temporary. What matters more is preventing it from coming back night after night. And sometimes, what seems like a minor annoyance is actually a serious warning sign you must not ignore. Stay with me, because in the next part, I'll show you how to prevent cramps from returning, and when it's time to see a doctor immediately. If you found these tips helpful and want to hear more real experiences about living with cramps, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Your support is what keeps me sharing these real-life lessons, things my wife and I have tried, tested, and seen work with our own eyes. Now, let's move on to the final part, preventing cramps from coming back and when to see a doctor. After too many sleepless nights with cramps, I realized I had to change my lifestyle. My wife patiently set a water bottle by the bed every night, reminding me to drink regularly. My doctor also warned me that losing just 2% of the body's water can be enough to throw muscle function off balance. She also adjusted my meals, more vegetables, milk, and bananas. I never paid much attention before, but later I read an NIH study showing that getting enough potassium, magnesium, and calcium can reduce nighttime cramps by nearly 40%. Every evening, my wife takes me for a short walk around the block. followed by a few gentle stretches before bed. My legs feel lighter and my sleep is deeper. A physical therapist once told me that even 5 minutes of stretching before sleep can significantly cut down the risk of cramps. And I found that to be true. In the winter, she makes sure I wear thick socks. At first, I thought it was unnecessary, but keeping my feet and legs warm clearly reduced the number of cramps I had. On top of that, she massages my legs and arms every night. Something so simple improved my circulation, relaxed my muscles, and helped me rest easier. My doctor also adjusted my prescription since diuretics can cause mineral loss that triggers cramps. After that, things improved noticeably. He also cautioned me to watch for red flags. Cramps that are too frequent, last for several minutes, or come with numbness or muscle weakness. Those could be signs of heart problems, nerve issues, or diabetes. A report from the American Heart Association even showed that older adults with frequent cramps are at much higher risk for peripheral artery disease. Now, I treat cramp prevention as part of my daily routine, staying hydrated, eating balanced meals, exercising lightly, keeping warm, massaging before bed, and monitoring my medications. Most importantly, I've learned to listen to my body, because sometimes a cramp isn't just a short burst of pain in the night. It's a reminder that our health needs real attention. If you found my story helpful, please don't hesitate to hit the like button. It's the simplest way to encourage me to keep making meaningful videos. Don't forget to subscribe. Every week, I'll be sharing more real-life experiences, not just about cramps, but also about other common health issues we face in our later years. And be sure to turn on the notification bell so you'll always be the first to see the latest tips, because sometimes one small piece of advice can save you or a loved one from another painful night. I'd also love to hear from you. Have you ever experienced these painful nighttime cramps? What have you tried to get rid of them? Share your experience in the comments below. Your tip might just be the solution another senior is searching for. You can also check out more videos on leg cramps for older adults in the playlist. Thank you so much for watching until the end.